We are, ladies and germs, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Mark Griffin, so glad to read you today in the blog. Love you, man, as he continues to get better. Say a prayer for my boy Mark Griffin. Also for Bino, that he gets better. Bino said he went, how long was it, Brian, between his upchucking episodes in his life? How many years?
Repeat that again. I was stepped away for a second.
Yeah, how long did Bino go between upchucking in his life?
Oh, he said he was a teenager.
So he was like 13 the last time it happened to him, he told me.
I don't know how you do that, but that's pretty impressive.
So like 60 years or something. Matt, can you imagine going 60 years without blowing your cookies? For those eating an early lunch? I digress.
No, I could not. But I also couldn't imagine leading a show talking about that either.
All right. So we got a lot to get to today and very little time to get there. Louis Vegas is in town tonight. Matt, do you find Louis Vegas a dangerous opponent, or are you sharing the optimism that the gambler must feel because the Vols opened yesterday as a underdog, and today you look up and there's a reason they haven't been, as they take the floor tonight, looks like they're going to be a favorite. They've jumped to like a 3-point favorite. So apparently the world thinks the Vols are going to get right tonight. What do you think of this matchup, Matt? Because we're going to bring a Louisville guest in here in a few moments to talk with him about it.
Really intriguing game. Very different Louisville team than the one you kind of rolled last year up there. Shoot a lot of threes. So you got to defend the 3-point line well. The team's going to score.
Yep.
So you're, not going to turn the ball over. And they just shoot it really well. Really, just a really good offense. So that composed some problems for Tennessee, obviously. So it should be fun. It is interesting that I think it was 2.5 in Tennessee's favor on VIP play this morning.
Yep.
So, kind of a, I guess, pretty even matchup, but should be a fun game. It's a game Tennessee kind of desperately needs. Talked about that Syracuse game, how they needed that game badly, a few weeks ago, and this is kind of Tennessee's turn to get that win back and get another big win and end this losing streak.
The number jumped around from yesterday to today, and I think one of the reasons is that Tennessee's very desperate. It's a desperation game for the Vols. Brian made an astute point yesterday, Matt, when he said that Tennessee's in the shoes that Syracuse is in a couple weeks ago when the Vols went to upstate New York on a snowy night. Syracuse was extremely desperate for a quad one win. Of course, Syracuse gave it back. They lost to the Dutchman over the weekend, the Flying Dutchman of Hofstra. But nonetheless, any Dutch Mantel fans out there know what I'm talking about when you talk about the Dutchman. But this is going to be a real challenge for a Tennessee team, Matt, right now that's identity-wise on offense really struggling for their offensive identity.
Yeah, and a bad matchup in that aspect against a team that wants to score quickly. They get out and run.
Yep.
Tennessee's transition defense has been kind of shaky, and by Rick Barnes' standards of this. Gotta find a way to step up. You need Ament to kind of come out of this little funk he's in. You need Gillespie to play well.
Yep.
You need Harry to give you some points. It's a game where you gotta have everybody kind of contribute some points because you're gonna need to score in the mid 70s and maybe even up into the 80s to win.
Should be a huge crowd on hand tonight, and we'll be on with you. Garza Law, Tennessee basketball overtime as soon as it's over. Hit us up over on the app, and we'll be with you. Or YouTube,
this sounds
or wherever.
Like similar to Alabama. There's sort of that Tennessee's actually fared well against recently.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Lots
Brian.
of threes, gets up and down.
That's right, Brian. Yep, it's very true, and it's one of the things that one of our guys was sharing with me today. Seed and Lee both believe that Tennessee, they generally excel against teams like this. Here's the thing, I ran by both those guys, and y'all tell me if I'm crazy. We got to hit some shots to stay in this game tonight. I mean, part of the allure and part of the reason Tennessee's been successful against Alabama in the past is they've actually hit shots. And they've also dared Alabama to take twos. Now, Louisville, that's kind of how they play. They're going to play an out game. They are second in America in 3-point attempts or third in America in 3-point attempts on the year. Tennessee's 220 in 3-point attempts heading into tonight. Louisville has number one in America made threes. They make 13.5 per game, and the Vols are 210 in America. And Matt, they're so good that Isaac McNeely, who would have been like a solid gold here to us, and he would have been. Isaac McNeely's their third leading scorer, 11 points per game on 26 minutes a night. And he's shooting 41% from three, but they've got a guy named Ryan Caldwell who shoots it better from three. The kid they got from Xavier who's lighting it up. I mean, they've got an embarrassment of riches from the perimeter, Matt, the way they've built their ball club.
Yeah, brought in two senior wings who can shoot from outside, and then pair that with a freshman, and Mikael Brown, who's really good.
Yep.
And he's the guy that can kind of attack the basket and dish it out on those kickouts, get to the foul line. So it's a good combo to have. But no, they shoot threes early and often and make a lot of them. So tough. And then with Brown being able to penetrate and score at the rim or get fouled, it makes it pretty difficult to defend a team like that.
So we're in a spot right now where this is a must-win. Because if you look at the league and you consider what the SEC is, Tennessee will have to rip through the league if they want to be a top 5 seed. Tonight's game is really important from that standpoint for the March watchers out there. And I'm a March watcher. I mean, we all should be March watchers to some degree. The thing about Louisville is, and we were talking about this before, but this is a team, 52% of their 3-point shots against Tennessee this year come from 25-plus feet. The Vols do a nice job of pushing people out. Louisville does lead the country, like we were telling you, in 3-point attempts. 58% of their shots come from three versus top 100 teams, and they only shoot 31% in those games. So a lot of these numbers are skewed. Plus, when you speak about skew, my boy Watson Brown, Simpsons meets, Louisville averages 18 points less per 100 possessions. These are like some advanced numbers, but they're really a great offense. But when they play those top 100 teams, they're different. Now, they obliterated, and I mean obliterated, Memphis over the weekend. Scored 99 on them. And the interesting thing, Matt, was I looked it up. McNeely only had 2 points in that game, which is really an anomaly. Boy, we really could have used him. Really could have used him.
I should point out that Memphis is not very good.
No, they're not.
So, do with that. I'm kind of glad they had a really good game coming in.
Penny for your thoughts, man. Penny for your thoughts. Last year against Tennessee, 65% of their shots were three-pointers. But they didn't have a ball club last year. They were 10 of 39 from three last year. I'm with Matt. This is a different.
They were never in that game.
No, never. They got ambushed.
I think Tennessee jumped out 10-0.
Yep.
And literally never trailed or never led by less than 10. And Louisville, that was like, I think that was like the second home game with Pat Kelsey there. So they kind of jammed out the arena, and it was a big spot for them. And Tennessee just avalanched them early with physicality. And that's the game that Tennessee had like 20 turnovers in a blowout win.
It was a football
to show you
Saturday.
How much Tennessee dominated them, but a totally different team.
It was a football Saturday. Who were we playing that day, Matt? We were home with somebody because we played.
Mississippi State, I think.
There you go, Mississippi State. Because we played Marcos's tailgate, and I was over there watching it and then doing the post-game show with C from Marcos's tailgate, and then we played music afterwards That was kind of a surreal day for me, but to do the show and then get up and play some music and then come back home and do the Garza Law fifth quarter fan reaction, do 2 post-game shows, two and one. But so tonight ought to be interesting. The Vols opened as a dog. They're now a favorite. So all those numbers as a dog are out the window, but it is interesting how few times in the Rick Barnes era Tennessee has been an underdog in that building. Just the consistency of the Rick Barnes era is immutable. It's just utterly remarkable how consistent he's been. I know the Negadaves of the world, and Brooks Holton's going to join us. He's covers the ball club in Louisville, and he'll join us on the other side. I do want to get into, though, when Brooks goes off, the transfer portal. And I do want to talk about quarterbacks because I've been digging around, and as a prelude to this, let me just say this. I think a lot of schools are having sticker shock right now. Talking to people. The transfer portal market, and you guys, hey, Brian, check me on this, okay? But I was told today that 7 of the 12, maybe we can go through this on the air later on. 7 of the 12 playoff teams this year have a transfer quarterback leading them. Do you find that to be an accurate statement, Brian, off the top of my head? Do you think that makes sense? And there's a little bit of
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, the Ohio State quarterback's not a transfer.
No, the Alabama quarterback's not a transfer. The Alabama quarterback's not a transfer.
Texas Tech quarterback, I don't think is a transfer.
I don't think so either.
Oregon's quarterback, I don't think
he is a transfer.
Yeah,
he transferred from UCLA. He's a 5-star player.
Yeah,
okay.
Transfer.
Yep.
Georgia's isn't.
So that's 3 right there that aren't.
A&M's isn't.
That's 4.
Miami's is.
Yeah, Miami's is. But
Ole Miss's is.
Mm-hmm.
So the point is.
Tulane is, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of programs. The point is, a lot of programs see the transfer quarterback as a panacea. And so we're going to talk about it because in some of the numbers I'm hearing flying around, and I was also told by somebody that would know a few moments ago that those guys going into the portal yesterday, a bunch of them, was related. And I want to talk about that. This is going to be an agent-driven market. And how involved in it should Tennessee get? Because Tennessee needs to rebuild their defense. I'm asking you, living Vol fan, I'm going to ask you this later on in the hour when we're done with our guest. Would you prioritize defense over offense over defense? Because you may have to choose. And I understand Jim Knowles has been breaking film down, and he's asking for some ingredients in his kitchen. Let's put it that way. He was on campus yesterday, and they're going through the process of looking right now. And so we'll take a brief time out and come back with more. It's your Tony Basilio show. I got Dixon. I got Brian Hartman. John Adams will join us Thursday. He's indisposed. This thing that's going around, everybody's checking out on me here as we continue with more after this. Living Vol fan, make Alumni Hall your one-stop shop for all your Vol fans on your shopping list this holiday season. There's nothing better than getting your favorite Tennessee gear under the tree. Picture it, a nice polo shirt, a new hoodie, something for the man cave. Pop in and see my friends at Alumni Hall. Best selection of Tennessee gear. Alumni Hall, 3 Knoxville locations, Bristol, Johnson City, Murfreesboro, or online at alumnihall.com. It's easy to have a big orange Christmas. And happy holidays from everyone at Alumni Hall. The ultimate volunteer shopping experience. Alumni Hall. Calhoun's invites you to leave the cooking to us all holiday season long. Between now and the end of the
year. Feast without the fuss when you host at the holidays. Don't you dare cook. Go absolutely next level with this offer between now and the first of the year. Calhoun's is offering an incredible deal on delicious turkey or prime rib dinner. You could feed from 5 to 10 people at your home holiday gathering, not lift a finger of preparation. The turkey dinner comes with amazing sides like mashed potatoes, peas, melt in your mouth gravy, dressing to die for, fresh rolls, cranberry sauce, and homemade cheesecake. And the prime rib dinner features amazing melt in your mouth prime rib, fresh mashed potatoes, au jus, green beans, gravy, rolls, horseradish sauce, and delicious fresh baked cheesecake. This amazing offering is available now through the new year. Call to place your order today. More information found at holidayfeedpack.com. Again, that's holidayfeedpack.com. Feast without the fuss this holiday season with Calhoun's, the taste of Tennessee.
When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gufon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gufon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gufon Moving and Storage, pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gufon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gufon.com. That's Gufon.com, or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gufon Moving and Storage.
Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776, or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter when Knoxville smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
TB here with Alan of WeShipFloors.com. Tell them about it, Alan.
Hey, I'm Alan from WeShipFloors.com. Our competition's prices, well, they're going up. Ours are coming down. Our waterproof floor Supercore is the best, and right now it starts at $199 a square foot. Our warehouses are full of 4 millimeter, 6 millimeter, and 8 millimeter. You strapped for cash? Well, we have our own in-house financing. Use our room visualizer and order some free samples today. Supercore from WeShipFloors.com. Best products at best price.
Like Alan said, head over to WeShipFloors.com. Use the room visualizer on the website. Drop in any of the 120 Supercore floors virtually into your room and order your free samples today. WeShipFloors.com. Tennesseans, they are us. The best product, the best price. WeShipFloors.com.
Cold weather is on its way, and keeping your home warm and cozy doesn't have to cost a fortune. Upgrade your HVAC system with Pipe Wrench Home Services and get payments as low as $137 per month. You'll also save on utility bills with a new energy-efficient HVAC system to keep your home warm and comfortable through the holidays. We make it easy with free on-site estimates on replacements and free second opinions on repairs. So call or schedule your appointment online today at pipewrench.com. And get a new energy-saving HVAC system for as little as $137 per month. We are committed to keeping your home cozy and worry-free this holiday season. Pipe Wrench Home Services, trusted in Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and neighboring communities for over 20 years. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
Fire this thing up, focus this thing, and prepare this thing, ladies and gentlemen. And I just spoke over your legalese there. I apologize, CJ. You're my boy. Good night, Basilio. Quick on the draw today. Shout out to CJ. Let me, without further ado, bring in a gentleman on the Newsmaker hotline. Ladies and gentlemen, he breaks it down scientifically. He's been with us before. He will move left to right across your device today. And he will get it done with the greatest of ease. And tonight, as we were talking about as a prelude to this piece here in our A block, the Vols have their hands full tonight. And what a difference a year makes in major college basketball. Because the team Tennessee seeing tonight, I think, has one seed ability. I think they've got Final Four ability. Whether they have one seed ability, I don't know. But they have Final Four ability because they can flat out shoot the basketball. And Brooks Holton now joins us. Louisville Courier-Journal, a native of Kentucky, a graduate of Missouri. Brooks, how am I doing so far on your CV? Anything else you want to add on your CV here?
I will shout out Center College because that's where I went to do my 4 years of undergrad, and then I got my grad school, a master's degree at Mizzou. So
let's freaking go.
That would be the only correction there.
Let's go. Center College is absolutely
I played football there.
Go!
Played football there. Four-time scout team player of the week, Division III.
Let's go, my friend. And when you're playing D3 football and you're on the scout team, that's called a labor of love. Tell me about this Louisville ball club coming off a 99-point outing against Memphis, where defense was optional in that game, and Louisville was raining three balls out the sky.
Yeah, I thought it was a really great game, one of their strongest so far of the season, just in terms of, the sort of contributions that they got from the bench. Bench scored 44 points. I think Memphis' starters had 49. So just a really good stuff. I mean, like, obviously when you have guys like Ryan Conwell and Michael Brown Jr. In your backcourt, you kind of know what you're going to get from them every night. But to be able to have different guys come up off the bench and give energy, and as Pat Kelsey likes to talk about, raise the level of play. I think that that's what this team is really going to need moving forward. And we were kind of talking about it before you guys started up after your break, but they made 18 threes on Saturday. I think that was 2 off the season high, and their most accurate three-point shooter, Isaac McNeely, the Virginia transfer, he did not hit a three. So it just shows you the kind of firepower that they can work with on a nightly basis, where you have to kind of prep for a ton of different weapons.
I'm going to jump the great Matt Dixon in here momentarily, but just, looking at things, you and I were talking off the air. Obviously, Tennessee came very close to this McNeely kid, and he would have been a huge part of Tennessee's offense. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. At Louisville, though, he's like option 3, option 4, which is kind of interesting, right?
Yeah, you could certainly make the case. I think, when you have a projected lottery pick in Michael running point, him and then Ryan Conwell kind of operating as a kind of like, I would say on the wing, because, when you have a guy like a Neely, he's mostly a two guard. So when you have those two and Brown and Conwell, they take a good deal of shots every game. So I would say that Isaac's probably the number 3 option, but you can make a case just from the consistency aspect of what you've been getting from Sananda Fru, who's a 22-year-old German. He played, I think, 4 years professionally in Germany. He's been really solid in the post, just a great lob threat, can do some rim running. He's a threat to shoot a 3 every now and again. And I think he's 2 for 2 on the season, so he won't take many, but he has a decent shot. But he's been playing really well. You can make a case for him as like the 3rd option, just in terms of, him getting some really easy baskets in the post. But McNeely is certainly someone that they want to get going on a nightly basis.
Yeah. Obviously, Louisville's been really good offensively, basically all season. But when the offense kind of gets bogged down or slowed down, are there any kind of common themes there of when the offense isn't either shots aren't going in or they're just having trouble getting to the free throw line? Like what causes some of the offensive struggles, the rare times they happen?
Yeah, I think, the 2 worst showings offensively were the game at Arkansas and then the game against Cincinnati. And I think both instances are dealing with a team that, has a bit more athleticism. Certainly Arkansas, they have some great guards who can really pressure you and try to just, wreak some havoc at the point of attack. Just kind of like blitzing ball screens, kind of getting them out of sync in a way, because they really like to move the ball. They don't want it to, be kind of like probing almost up at the top. So I think it's just trying to disrupt, get deflections, and then also really a big thing, with Louisville is that they like to play in transition, right? So even after made baskets, they're really pushing the ball up the court. So if teams can kind of slow them down and get them more settled and be able to take their time and not playing on their heels, essentially, I think that, that's where this team can kind of, start to struggle. And then obviously if they don't get threes to fall, I think that this team is also probably still working a bit on not letting their offense, impact their defense too. So just a few things to look for tonight.
Brooks Holton, Louisville Courier Journal. Go ahead, Brian.
This Louisville team has the tendency to maybe struggle somewhat when they play on the road in a hostile environment. See Cincinnati, see Arkansas. They struggled in at least one of those games. They won, but they kind of had to come from behind.
Right.
Did he think they might be a team that could struggle on the road?
We'll see. The game against Cincinnati is kind of a bit misleading because it was in Cincinnati, but it wasn't like a neutral court. So they weren't playing on campus, and there was a very loud and I would say a big contingent of Cards fans there. The only problem is that both teams are red and black, so it was kind of hard to tell them apart. But no, certainly the game in Arkansas, they seemed rattled very early, especially, and what kind of calmed them down, I thought, the second half was getting to the line. I was looking, this is obviously the first game at Thompson Bowling in almost a month, right? So I'm sure the place is going to be loud tonight. And that's kind of one of the things I'm most interested to see is after that experience at Arkansas, how do they bounce back in a tough environment like this?
Vols are a desperate animal tonight. They've had 11 days or so to prepare for this thing. They did not look good the last couple of times they were played. They didn't look good on offense. They weren't very good on defense, but other than that, they've strung a couple of pretty good games together. I think Tennessee's hope tonight, and I want your thought on this, is that they've been able to push opponents out and extend things and force them to shoot long threes instead of easy threes. That's their hope. Louisville obviously has an excellent point guard, though, who's been able to facilitate in this, what many people think is a one-and-done freshman. If you can elaborate on his play, the impact he's had on their ball club.
Yeah, when he's on, he's as good as anyone in the country. I think you'll go back and watch some highlights of the game against Kentucky. They've obviously, their season has taken a turn, and but that was probably his best game so far in college, was the game against UK. Just really a huge performance, and I think that there are times, like you look at the game against Arkansas, where he struggled with shot selection, just a lot of contested threes, just not some great looks, and that was even an issue sometimes in the game on Saturday. I think Pat Kelsey subbed him out and kind of got in his face on the bench a little bit. Both were fine afterwards about the whole interaction. But he's someone that can kind of press a little bit. He can try to do a little too much. It's just kind of a matter of refining the mindset, I think, and he's really good off the dribble. So, if the shots aren't falling, he has to kind of make that flip in a hurry, right? Because he can get downhill and he can draw fouls. So, you're going to see a lot of different stuff from him tonight. I think that he can make some impactful plays on defense. I don't know if he's the best defender on Louisville's team. I would say Conwell, and then maybe a guy like Adrian Woolley and Kobe Rogers off the bench. Those are probably your best perimeter defenders. Michael is really special to watch. It'll be fun to see him in this sort of environment again and see how much he's learned, because he has had some good games over the past couple of weeks, but it just hasn't felt like with the same level of just like he can kind of take a lot of shots to get 15, 17 points. If that makes sense.
No question. But a lot of freshmen, go through periods where they, will have a struggle point here or there, or playing on the road, or a certain. I wonder if Tennessee. Hey, Matt, I want to jump you in here. I wonder if Tennessee does some stuff with him to try to rattle him early tonight in front of that crowd. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I would think so. I would think he would probably be the key that Tennessee focuses on, and whether they can stop him or not, or not will probably dictate the game. But yeah, he'll probably be the main focus of Tennessee's defense. So it will be interesting to see how he handles the spot on the road against a physical team. Not quite as good defensively as they have been the last couple of years, but still a Rick Barnes defense. It's gonna really put ball pressure on him and make him work. He's probably the key to the game, honestly.
Brooks Holton joining. He covers the Louisville Cardinals for the Louisville Courier-Journal and does an excellent job. He's been on with us before. He's a ball knower. And you and I were talking off the air, Brooks, the fact that Tennessee is extremely desperate, the fact that Louisville's riding high right now, I mean, what a difference 13 months can make in that sport. It's just crazy. This Kelsey guy's done a hell of a job in a short amount of time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it just speaks to, he knows what he wants from his teams, and he's able to go out and get guys who fit that to a T. I mean, he's got, a ton of shooters to choose from. He was a point guard himself in college, so he really likes working with those guys. And he's got a really good one in Michael. And then just in terms of the depth, like I said, there are going to be guys, you'll see a lot of substitutions tonight. And, from Louisville's perspective, they're coming off the best game in terms of bringing guys off the bench and having them provide a spark. So it'll be interesting to see if they can keep that sort of momentum going, because there are probably going to be some moments tonight where they need someone to come in and just give them a boost.
How do you think the Cardinals handle it tonight? What do you think?
Yeah, like I was saying off the air, it's very hard to pick against a Tennessee team that's had so much time to prepare. And, like you were telling me, Barnes has never lost 4 in a row at Tennessee. So, just having the home environment, I think that this is a game where I think that Louisville will play better than it did against Arkansas. I don't know if they'll make I don't know if it'll have enough winning plays in it down the stretch. Essentially, I think Tennessee's a really physical team, and Louisville's good rebounding. They have good rebounding numbers, but in some of their games against a bigger and a more athletic team, they've kind of struggled on that end. So I think Tennessee could give them a real problem there tonight.
Yeah, it's Matt. What do you think of that? Just taking the Vols because the game's just so important to Tennessee. Because I was telling Brooks here off the air, if the Vols lose tonight, we might have to deal with the fact that this season's just could be a long one, especially if it looks ugly. Because if you can't piece it together after having all that time off and all that time to prepare for an important game, this feels like an all-in type of game to me tonight, Matt. I hate to put it that way, but it's just how it feels.
Yeah, it does. And Tennessee's got to figure out a way to dictate the pace and tempo of the game, because you get in a fast paced, high scoring game. I just think Louisville's got too many scoring options and can just outscore Tennessee. It's got to be a game that Tennessee makes a half court game. They can use their size and physicality inside as a strength and not get exposed defensively with that. So it'll be curious. I'm really curious to see what Tennessee's game plan is and how they attack it. How Nate Amen, who's been struggling recently, can he kind of turn that corner a little bit with some time off? Do they figure some things out? So really intriguing and fun game. I know. I mean, I haven't watched Vandy, but I think that Arkansas team might be my pick to win the SEC. I think they're really, really good. So I watched them in Louisville, and Louisville didn't play bad, but I just think Arkansas is a little bit better than Tennessee in a lot of areas.
Louisville's sneaky good is what they are. They're kind of the computers didn't like them a couple weeks ago, but I think they're a pretty sneaky good team like you do, Matt. And Brooks, from your perspective, what kind of advantage does Tennessee have inside if they can force Louisville to play their game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously a size and a physicality are, those are huge and those are huge points of emphasis under Barnes. So I think that, if they do slow it down and get in the half court, right, that means probably more looks at the rim for Louisville or more drives and try to kick out. So if they have the size down low to be able to, block shots and just make things difficult for Louisville's, drivers and their cuts, that's certainly going to kind of muck things up. And if you can just kind of turn Louisville over too and try to play in transition yourself, I mean, like that's something that, like when you have those opportunities, like certainly needing to capitalize on them. But like, I think the biggest thing for Tennessee is just they're such a good team defensively, and that's always a staple of the program, right? To be able to throw a team like Louisville off rhythm, and there are like tons of different things you can do to do that. But I just think that that's probably going to happen tonight, like at some point, or it will happen for like a long enough stretch that like I don't know if they can bounce back.
Brooks Holton, Louisville Courier-Journal. On the way out, man, I really appreciate you taking some time for us. And anything else you'd care to add on tonight's game? And then give the living listener, your coordinates where they can find you.
Yeah, I don't really have much else about tonight's game. I'm really looking forward to it. I've always seen a lot of big games at Thompson Bowling Arena on TV. So
yeah,
first time getting to cover a game there. Super excited about that. Arkansas was awesome. I kind of expect this to be the exact same way in terms of crowd. But yeah, if you want to find me on social, it's at Brooks Holton, HOLTON on Twitter or X, I guess now.
You're the man, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Great talking to you. Yeah, tonight's game's going to be really interesting. Tennessee's in absolute desperation mode. They've kind of put themselves behind the eight ball. Matt, I'm shocked with the league this year, the step back in the league. I'm not alone. I don't know how Jimmy Dykes is going to sell 14 teams in this league this year into the NCAA tournament. I guess he'll try, but Jimmy's
just going to be crowded in the back of it.
Jimmy's got quite a sales job. You're right, Brett, because a lot of our teams are going to be sitting on the floor of the jet by the lavatory if they get on the jet at all. They're going to be back there by the lavatory.
On standby.
Yes, on standby.
No, you were never going to replicate what you did last year, and you had to just really like 4 or 5 teams that were Final Four title good.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how it plays out. You may only have 1 or 2 kind of Final Four teams this year, but that could wind up helping Tennessee if Tennessee kind of takes a step back, but the rest of the league also takes that step back. You could find a way to scratch out some extra wins there that you might need to get to stay have a good seed. So, but no, it's definitely Kentucky is really bad.
Yes.
Florida's got maybe the best front court in the country, but they don't have the guard play. Alabama's kind of Alabama, although they're just not very good defensively. Vandy, we'll see how much of their stuff's sustainable. I think Arkansas is the best team in the league for a deep March run.
You talk about Florida not having guard play. Boogie Flan transferred from Arkansas to there, and apparently Arkansas looks like they've gotten a lot better, and Florida's regressed.
Boogie Flan's a horrible player. No offense to him. 865-200-5402 is the numero uno. Hold the calls. I want to talk about the quarterback deal, and then we have a special guest going to join us here momentarily. But I want to talk about the quarterback deal. Let's get into that for a few minutes. Matt, are you a Lagway oneer who's in the portal? Would you talk to him?
I mean, I guess you could talk to him, but I just think the guy's too injury prone, and with the price tag that he's going to kind of demand, I just think you're better suited, getting somebody for less money and using some of that elsewhere, but to fill other needs.
Brian, how many teams have transfer quarterbacks? Have we looked that up?
In the playoffs?
Yeah, let's look that up. Tennessee believes that they got to spend a preponderance of their money that they have, and they've got a huge nut here, but they believe they've got to spend a preponderance of their money in the portal on defense. Knowles has kind of made it known. I mean, he's going to need what he's going to need. We talked about these guys last week. He's got the instigator. He's got the regulator. What do they call the safety, Matt, in his deal? The guy that barks out the signals. Not the regulator. Percolator.
The adjuster.
The adjuster. Thank you. Anyway, here's a conversation they're having. Everybody's having. How worth it are these guys? Do I want to spend $3 million, $3.5 million on Sorsby? How many defensive players could I get for that? How many defensive players? How much could I shore up my horrendous, unwatchable defense and roll with a GMAC? Roll with a less than expensive veteran quarterback, a Joey Aguilar type. I was talking to somebody today that told me that the price of these quarterbacks is astronomical and through the roof. Now, are these teams going to bite? We already know Texas Tech is going to bite. The Sorsby guy is an interesting choice because he's an interesting guy to look at, because I think he's kind of a cautionary guy. Because in one sense, he puts up good numbers. In another sense, he is prone to have a horrendous game or two. He's a feast or famine guy. Now, his parents just moved to the area, which we've told you. It's true. His girlfriend, I understand, goes to Texas Tech. Texas Tech, I mean, Matt, would they be a player for Sorsby? Would they go bigger than him? Who knows?
Well, I don't know too many guys in the portal that are going to be as productive as Sorsby.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, Lagway's from Houston.
Yep.
Texas Tech could entertain that maybe. Obviously, money's not an issue for them. Miami will be, big spenders at quarterback because they kind of have abandoned high school recruiting at that position, which is interesting.
Yep.
So no, I mean, Sorsby's a running quarterback. I just, Scott Satterfield's offense is so one-dimensional and so reliant on running that the passing game is very vanilla and very basic. So that'd be an interesting transition for a guy like Sorsby. But if he's a quick decision maker and gets the ball out on time and with some accuracy, it's obviously a good fit. But, I think his price tag will be really high. He'll be one of the probably 5 or so highest paid QBs from the portal this year, which I just don't know if that makes sense for Tennessee to do that.
No, I don't think it does. In fact, the more I think about it, And I'm just looking at the guys that are already in. Now, here's what we don't know, because I give Tennessee a lot of credit. They were very pokerish with the Banks firing. They were very pokerish with the hiring of Jim Knowles, which I give them a lot of credit for that. And they're being very pokerish right now. Okay. If you'll notice, there's not much out there.
Okay, I think there are 5 quarterbacks that did not transfer in that's been there where they're at in the playoffs.
Okay, so seven are transfers.
Yeah, one from JMU is a backup. He's played meaningful stats with the other guy injured, and he's a transfer. So I guess there have been 7 teams that are using transfer quarterbacks, but Ohio State's Zan was there. Georgia's Gunnar Stockton was there. Texas Tech's Brian Morton was there. Bama's Ty Simpson was there, and I think Marcel Reed at A&M is also one that's been at A&M. So
I think Sam started at Bama though, that his first year, and then transferred to Ohio State.
Oh, so that's 4. So that's 8 of 12. Jeez Louise, man. Good point on saying that.
The Heisman Trophy, 7 of the last 9 have been transfers, winners.
Wow.
Or something like that, some crazy stat like that.
To look that up. And that's what so these guys in this class might get paid because of what we just unearthed here. The belief in the sport is, and look, Miami made the playoffs doing it this year. You can debate whether or not they belong there. You can debate whether or not they frittered it away. You can debate whether or not. But they made the playoffs with a guy that we knew was a pretty flawed quarterback when he was at Georgia. We knew that. 7 of the last 9 Heisman winners were transfers. Wow. I just kind of look at this team, their needs, what you're trying to accomplish. Matt, if you had to spend, because I was told today, this Sorsby guy, you'd be $3.5 million into that before you say boo. Wouldn't you be better off taking that money? Because this is the conversation they're having internally. Remember, you do not have an unlimited amount of money in this stuff. Wouldn't you be better off taking that money and putting it toward your defense and shoring up your defense?
I would think so, yeah. I mean, because you've already got, I don't know what Faison Brandon's going to get, but he's, obviously a high-ticket guy. McIntyre's, making a good bit. I mean, who knows what, but like you've already got money invested in your quarterback room, whether that's the right approach or not. I just don't think you can pay. It's wise to get a high end guy when you have so many needs, and you're going to have to get 8 to 12 guys on defense that can play. With a couple of those guys being upper level SEC starters. And that's just kind of hard to use so much of your budget on the quarterback position.
And that's what you're looking at here.
It's been a plug and play deal in Heupel's offense,
that's the other thing.
The interesting part.
Yeah, that's right. Because everybody told us that you couldn't do it with the running backs you had on the roster this year, and those guys were good enough. They were good enough to scratch you near the playoffs. I don't know that our fan base looks at next season and goes, hey, man, we're playing for a playoff. I think thinking about it, you'd be almost better off going and getting some 2-year defensive players, some guys that are more than rentals, because you've got needs on defense. You've got needs on defense all over the place. I mean, you need an adjuster. You need a regulator. You need a percolator. I mean, I would take Warren G right now if I could get my hands on him. If he had any eligibility left. But anyway. All right, on YouTube, Rodney Kraft, you're getting on my nerves right now. Yesterday I blocked a guy who I unblocked and the show is over, the McCarter guy. But, I'm trying to watch these YouTube comments, and this guy's like dominating the comments. And Rodney, no offense to you, but you're annoying the hell out of me right now. So I will block you, Rodney, if you don't stop. Because you don't stop. Ha 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 ha. Matt, that's my new thing now. I'm watching the YouTube because I want to play along, at home, Matt. But I don't want to. What's the term here? But I don't want to get annoyed. Is that a fair thing, Matt, on my part? And I warn these people before I do it, Matt. Yeah. Before I do it. Oh no, Rodney says it's your show. I'll go away. Why you gotta be a snowflake, Rodney? Nobody told you to go away. I just told you you're annoying me. You don't have to go away. You don't have to text every 5 seconds, brah. Just relax. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show, man. I mean, I'm allowed to be honest with people, right, Matt? Am I not? We put in our time here. We put in our time. Joshy Boy served his suspension. He's back under wing. I'm just trying to take you under wing here, man. Take a brief time out. We'll come back with more on the other side. So we bring it back right after this.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the Volunteer State by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof. T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka, distributed by Athens Distributing Company. Please drink responsibly. When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm going to hop online and I'm going to get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our gold bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama's Easy approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
Hey there, Basilio crew. Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. The holiday season is here, and if your plans include unwrapping your new home, then take advantage of less competition and motivated sellers while others are out fighting over parking spots at the mall. Smart buyers are out snagging deals on great homes, and I'm ready to help. Give me a call, 865-694-5904, or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com. And as always, go Vols!
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fanrun Radio.
Oh, Basilio, what's happening to you, man? You're hitting your IDs on time. You're getting in and out. You're moving left to right across my device. The content is good. It's next level. Tonight we got Garza Law, Tennessee basketball overtime. It's pretty absolutely outstanding. And we're going to go to the phones. And we're going to do our thing. And we're going to welcome back one of our own, ladies and gentlemen, because Brian Penske, when he was hired here, took Lady Vol Soccer and put it on the map. And now he joins. We break it down scientifically. Brian Penske, you just won a national championship, man, at Florida State. I don't know how you did that a week ago. That was a week ago, right? 1 week ago. What's the last week been like for you, and has that sunk in that you took a team that was struggling kind of at midseason, and you guys just went on an end of the year, what I want to see Tennessee basketball do it 1 year at the end of the year, just go win 6 straight, man, and win one.
Yes, sir. Nice to be back.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you for having me on. It was awesome. The last week has been busy. Our portal closed today. We had a dead period that started yesterday. And so, honestly, I did nothing but recruit last week. We got back on Tuesday from Kansas City, had a recruit in that night, and had a recruit every day until Sunday. So just been freaking out about next year, to be honest. And now we get a little bit of downtime, but and at some point, enjoy the fact that we won last week.
The fun never ends, does it, man? In this whole transfer portal, insane hyperspace era. We were just talking about, like, with Tennessee football. In all these football programs, these quarterbacks have gotten really, really, really expensive. Do you guys have like a budget, and this is what I got to spend on this position versus that position? Does that happen in your sport?
No, because I mean, we're now things have changed for us a little bit, right? We were in a pretty good place with the collectives and old school NIL. Now we're in the rev share era, and every department operates a little differently in terms of rev share, right? And we all know what drives everything, and that's football. And our department's trying to get our football program, going. And speaking of, right, DJ Lagway went in the portal last night, so there's a lot of talk around here what's going to happen with him. So we still have, a little bit of money to play with, and it's not really by position. It's best player available who's going to help us win. And I usually err on the side of attacking players, kids that can score goals, because that's the hardest thing to do in our sport. And then on the world stage, that's the same thing, right? Who makes the most money in this game, right? Around the world, right? The Lionel Messis of the world, right? The Cristiano Ronaldos of the world. So that's where I put my money too.
Watching your game the other night, that Stanford team looked absolutely unbeatable.
That first 20 minutes.
Dude, they looked unbeatable. It looked like you guys were going to get shelled, man, in the first half.
Shelled. But Kate O'Keene, man, 18-year-old little girl from Utah, took the starting job from our year-and-a-half long starter. And then we had another kid on our roster who was also a freshman who had won the Golden Glove at the U17 World Cup, played in 2 U17 World Cups. And we got little old Kate O'Keene from Utah, wins the job and then becomes the star of the show on that Monday night and won the game for us, right? Won the game for us. Absolutely stood on her head and kept us in the game. And that's what, if you're going to win championships, you need a goalkeeper that at some point is going to have to come up with big plays. And she did that. And we actually made a change about 20 minutes into the game in terms of our shape and how we were dealing with them. And that helped us. But if we don't get out of that first 20 minutes, the change does nothing for us.
And she had in hockey, what they call she had 5 10-bell saves.
Yeah.
I mean, she 100%. Was over here, over there, leaping.
Yeah.
One got behind her twice. It was crazy.
Flying, right? And now in the modern, game, right, they want goalkeepers to be immaculate with their feet, right, and help the build out and this and that. And I'm still a little old school. Obviously, that matters, but it's what's a goalkeeper's job, man?
Keep it out.
Keep the ball out of the back of the net.
No.
Keep the ball out of the back of the net, right? And so Kate continues to develop her game with her feet, but the kid can freaking fly, man, and she can make saves, and that's what she did.
Brian Penske's one of our own. We love him here. We celebrate his success on your Tony Basilio show today and this December day, and wish him the best during this great season. And I know he's a family guy as well. Seeing you and your son standing next to each other, man, that was
awesome.
You said priceless.
Awesome.
I love that. Yep, priceless.
Yep. As you're a Northeast guy, right? He plays at Tufts in the NESCAC.
Oh wow.
He was a little brag on him. He was a captain, and they won the regular season, they won the tournament, and then they won the NCAA championship. And they've got obviously Division III program, but a very good program. That was their 5th national championship too. It was our 5th at FSU, and so much like our players, you live up to the standards that the previous guys had set. And so you want to win at the highest level like the previous guys have, and you don't want to let down the players that have come before you. So that was a big deal for him and his teammates.
Brian, you've won 2 natties now, 2 of their 5 at Florida State.
Can't believe it, man. Can't believe it.
You looked blown away the other night that you guys won that game on the field afterwards.
I thought I was trying to hide that, man.
Were you? I mean, they were so talented, man. They were so talented.
They were good, and they had like 8 kids on the field that were on the field 2 years ago when we beat them in the national championship 5-1. So we had 3, right? And we started 3. We brought another one off the bench.
What a coaching job!
And so they were coming for us, and they were in the Final Four last year too, and lost in the semifinal. So that was their 3rd straight Final Four. They had won the ACC tournament, and they were coming for us. And so it was that, which makes it all the more enjoyable and
what's
amazing.
Supposed to happen? Yeah, when Rihanna Hudson scored, right in the 87th minute or whatever, it's like late. The announcer said, "This Stanford team, they haven't trailed in like 2.5 months." I'm sitting there going, "What in the world,
their UCLA
man?"
game. Yeah, they lost to UCLA on September 7th. That was the only other time they had been shut out.
Total panic
this fall.
Yeah, total panic sets in. Like, hey, this ain't supposed to happen to us, and you could see it on their kids' faces. And I mean, they turned it up. They started playing with it, playing in a desperation mode.
They did. They did, and we didn't manage those minutes well. We kind of tried to tweak our shape, but it wasn't clear because it was just everybody's freaking out. And gosh, that was a terrible 3 minutes. But thank freaking goodness.
As Brian Penske joins, we're celebrating the fact. And one thing about Brian is that, and one of the things I loved about him is that he was always a great friend to our show. He helped so many people in our community whenever he could. He was just a great ambassador for the sport.
Yes, sir. And I continue to be a Tony Basilio listener. I still get alerts on my phone for your post-game basketball show and your post-game football show.
Oh, no.
Yes.
And you're a sportsman. Hey, he's a sportsman, too. And you loved your time. You loved your time in Knoxville, yes?
Loved it, man. Loved it. And still pull for those coaches. And, I was like everybody, man. Tony Vitello, what a devastating. And I'm now pulling for Elander, but that guy's got an uphill climb, man. Gosh. And then to see Coach Q leaving after that, and Frank, I took over for a monster here, right? 4 years ago, right? Mark Krikorian had, in 17 years here, Krikorian was in 15 Elite Eights, 11 Final Fours, won 3 national championships. And so it's hard. And Elander, is obviously he's learned a lot, and he's been with Vitello a long time. But Vitello, that guy checked a lot of boxes, man. He checked a lot of boxes, and so Elander, I'm pulling for him, but he's got a big job, man. He's got a big job.
Brian Penske, you speak from whence you know. Once again, congratulations to you on winning it all. What's the weather like in Tallahassee today? Because it's like freezing.
I am sitting in my backyard.
It's not bad here, actually.
It is probably high mid 50s, but she'll be touching 63, 65.
That ain't
it's
bad.
Heaven.
That's
it's
not
heaven.
That ain't bad.
It's heaven. Yeah.
No, bro. Knoxville's heaven.
I know it is. And it's heaven part 2.
Thank you, brother. Hey, congratulations and Merry Christmas to you and your family, man. Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate you having me on. All right, Tony.
You're my man. Hey, much love.
Back at you.
We'll get you on for some World Cup stuff.
Oh, I love it. Sounds good. Let's do it.
What do you think of the draw? U.S. draw?
Favorable. 100%. I mean, I think they're going to do all right. You know, Pochettino, a little slow out of the gate, but it seems to all be measured. And I think you want to go this path as opposed to the reverse, right? I mean, let's face it. What are the expectations right now?
I wonder how sharp you. Well, that's true. I wonder how sharp you can be when you don't have to qualify. That's just my. That's my thing, right?
Yeah.
Is that a fair thing to say?
Sure. I mean, might be real. It's certainly, something that you just don't have to worry about, right? And so your eyes are just on, the summertime of 26 and not on have to win now, right? And there's value in that, right? And at the end of the day, all the guys that opted out last summer or this or that.
Yes.
I mean, they got an opportunity to play in a World Cup.
I would say
this summer. So who's not going to be available and trying to fly on all cylinders when the time is right?
Brian Penske, much love to you. Appreciate you, brother.
Back at you.
You the man. Congratulations on the national championship.
Thank you, Tony. Happy holidays. Appreciate you having me on as always.
Love, brother. My best to your family.
Thank you.
The great Brian Penske one more time. Hey, Matt, how about him in the middle of that pivoting on Tony Vols leaving and just the enormous challenge? I was thinking about Elander over the weekend when Tony Vols came back and was doing his thing, showing up with the orange Santa suit on. People have seen that. And that was for a local advertising agency. And then he took that money and donated it, I know, to one of his great causes. And then he Saturday did a thing down at the Sanson Sports Park for the Emerald Youth, which is something that Tony was involved with basically his whole time here. And now I know he's down at Winter Ball, he told me. But this Elander guy has this Elander guy has a huge challenge on his hands, Matt. Huge.
No, he does. It's an impossible job to replace Tony Vitello, but I think being the right-hand man makes it easier for him because he knows he's not Vitello and he doesn't have to be Vitello. He just has to be himself.
Yep.
And I think it's an easier transition for him than it would have been for some outside hire to try to replace what Vitello brought, because you're never going to replace all of that, but you can replace as much of it on the field as possible with a guy like Elander. You just hope some of those intangibles and some of the it factor that Vitello had that somehow found its way onto his team in clutch moments continues.
People are like,
he's got a loaded team to help him do it, though.
No doubt, Brian. They got a loaded team next couple years. No doubt about it, man.
It won't be for lack of players.
Oh, no. But what this guy cannot afford to have is a Texas A&M-like start. The early season for them, they've got to hit the ground running. and kind of be cohesive and sort of be in the moment and sort of get it right from the very beginning. You feel me on that, Matt? They above all need a very good, clean start to the season.
Yeah, they need the. Yeah, they need a good start. Luckily, they don't play a very challenging, non-conference schedule at home. Besides the one tournament, early season tournament. So
Nichols is going to feel this.
Well, Tony, I like Tony because Tony knows how to find some beaters. In the car business, they call those cars beaters. Like I drive beaters. My son Anthony drives a beater around. I'm a beater guy. Well, clip that. But
my favorite was bringing in all these hoopties and then complaining about the 10-run rule. I love that.
We're beating people like
no 10-run rule in the NL West now.
When they were Matt, when they had that one game with Rhode Island, and that was in the pimp outfit days, okay? When it wasn't easy, because you got trying anyway. So when Tony, they had the whole leather coat or the fur coat going and the whole shebang. Matt, they were beating that Rhode Island team like 35-1, and somebody hit a home run, and they came out and put the hat on him, and I'm going, this here is a little excessive, and I'm all for the celebrating,
Hey, if you hit a home run, you get the fur coat and daddy hat. You never know if you're going to hit another one.
Yes.
Is that the weekend where it snowed 5 inches one day?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're out there in the snow, Brian. You talk about Evan Russell and those clowns committing to the bit. I think it was Lipscomb that hit a home run. Or no, Lipscomb was one of the guys coming out, and it was like one of the bench players that hit a home run because at that point the lineup's emptied. And it's like the 27th or 28th run. I'm not making that up. And they're out there celebrating like it's the 7th game of the World Series. And I'm going, I think these guys are going to rub a lot of people in this league the wrong way. And that was the team that took off. So that was crazy. So anyway, it was good to catch up with him. So fun stuff. All right, let's get back to our conversation about football here. Matt, what do you make of this quarterback, the kid that I want from Old Dominion? And I don't know what his asking price is going to be. I don't pretend to know what his asking price is going to be. But what do you make of this kid from Old Dominion, Matt?
I think he's a guy worth looking at and worth seeing, what kind of fit he would be in this offense. And try to get him on a visit if they obviously, if they want to bring in a quarterback like him, he'd be a good option. Not going to be overly expensive like some of the other higher price names we've talked about, but anybody that's been productive in college, even if it's at a smaller level, can translate into this offense really well. You saw, Aguilar came from Appalachian State.
He proved it. Yeah. And I bet
this would be a guy you'd have a spring with whoever you bring in as well.
And I would use Aguilar in this whoever I'm going to target in their recruitment. Look, you could go to the 1AA level. You could go to Group of 5 level and find somebody, and you don't have to break the bank on them. It's a conclusion I'm coming to. Aguilar's pretty good. He was good enough. The thing about the Sorsby guy, and this is just one of my concerns as I look into him, when he would have a stinker game, Matt, he could really suck. Like, I'm talking stink bomb game. He's very capable of stink bomb games. Yes or no?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but usually in those games that they get behind and they have to start throwing the ball, and that offense he played in just isn't conducive to be pass happy. But obviously he's a part of that why they got down. But yeah, I just think that guy's will be too expensive.
Yeah.
For what Tennessee kind of needs and really what they want.
I'm hearing Tennessee's got sticker shock at how expensive this has gotten all of a sudden. Now look, we had a guest last week tell us that they were getting ready to pay the starting quarterback at Illinois last year when they were desperate, north of $2 million, which tracks. He chose to stay there. They built a big campaign around it. That kid's a hero for life. That kid will never have to buy a brewski the rest of his life. But I'm sitting here wondering, and I think we should wonder aloud, and I just want your thoughts on this at 865-200-5402. Do you believe that you're better off going and getting the high-ticket quarterback with this particular team, or are you better off going and getting the bridge quarterback? Now, 7 of the 12 teams that are in the playoffs. No, I'm sorry, 8 of the 12 teams, because we checked we checked it, and Matt caught that Ohio State's quarterback is in fact a transfer from Alabama. So 8 of the 12 quarterbacks currently in the playoffs are transfer quarterbacks. It's a transfer quarterback game. Last year, Ohio State won the national championship with a transfer quarterback that a lot of people thought was a weak link for him, who played essentially flawless football, I would say, in their run. He kind of took off last year. Somebody said on here, and I haven't looked it up because I'm not really a big Heisman Trophy guy, but this does seem to make sense on its face, that Bryce Young is the last homegrown quarterback to win a Heisman Trophy. Bryce Young's the last one. Would that track with you guys? Off the top of your heads, your alleged minds? Is that tracking for you all?
I haven't kept up with the Heisman.
Yeah, I'm not a Heisman guy.
Heisman's for casuals.
Yeah, I'm not a Heisman guy.
Brian, does that track though?
Does it track?
Yeah, it sounds right. I think it goes back. They said like 7 out of the last 9 have transferred from somewhere else. Didn't begin their career there. So, does Tennessee even have a guy win the Heisman who transferred from here somewhere else and won it somewhere else? They could almost claim that, couldn't they?
Yeah.
But I don't think even that's the case.
Timothy McGee in a super chat says Buddy Stevens from Last Chance U is a similar offensive hype. Well, you could even go the JUCO route. Look, I'm not trying to be funny here. The kid at Old Dominion would be a really nice player here. I mean, he looks like a guy. First of all, he can run. Secondly, their team executes inside the red zone. If you go look the numbers up. Thirdly, he's a gamer. Fourthly, he can run.
Tomorrow night at 5, they play in the Orlando Bowl. You can see him play if he's playing.
Woot, freaking woot.
I assume he's playing, right?
Woot, freaking woot.
Yeah, they're a 6-point underdog.
He hasn't opted
too,
out,
they're one of my best bets to cover as an underdog.
Bronny Boy Hartman speaking it into existence after Matt said Heisman's are for casuals, so tell us about it, bro. Hey, Matt, I heard what you did there, you clown.
They're playing South Florida, ironically, who's being quarterbacked by Gaston Moore.
Shout out Buddy Stevens.
There's some ironic things there.
How about that, Matt? How about if the 2 ships are meeting in the night? How about if it's meant to be? How about if Gas Pipe and Colton Joseph? By the way, we had pretty good success with our last Colton that came out of the portal. And let's not forget Colton Jumper. Nor Dasher, nor Dancer, nor Prancer, nor Vixen.
Was he a portal? Did he transfer
nor
in?
Comet, nor Colton, nor Donner, nor Blitzen. Huh?
Did Colton Jumper transfer from somewhere?
Bronny Boy, did you just give us the line in that game?
Yeah. Old Dominion's a 6-point underdog.
Vols Deep said, Matt, why don't we transfer our second team guy to the first team, and there your problem solved? Why is GMAC not getting the run here in the offseason, Matt? What do you think gives with that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess they just don't think he's ready, and physically he obviously doesn't look ready. But
yes,
I don't know what their projection, where the staff use him in evals right now. And then Brandon, obviously, you probably don't want to throw him out there.
Yes,
game one as your starter. But I don't know. Maybe they view McIntyre as a guy that's capable of running the offense. Next year, who knows? Maybe you swing and miss on a few guys in the portal, and you just decide to hope hat with what you've got. And I guess you have to bring in at least a body
position statement, Matt. It's not worth spending $4 million for this football team for a quarterback. Position statement. They have way too many other needs, right?
Yeah, you've probably got $4 million invested in the two you've already got. So I mean, look at it from the budget part of it. It'd be really difficult to invest more for a high ticket guy, and you don't necessarily need a high ticket guy.
He's got another good point.
You have to have the right guy, which we can question. But
yep. I love the ODU guy. Now we'll watch him tomorrow night. Watch him throw up a damn stinker, and we're on here ripping him. Maybe we'll do like a Garza Law fifth quarter ODU fan reaction tomorrow night. And he'll have like an odious display. Dave is becoming an irritant over in the YouTube comments. Is that a surprise to you, Matt, that Dave might get a warning here as being an irritant? Does that surprise you?
No, not really.
And I quote, sticker shock is the word for the day. Tony has a new word. Tony's already making excuses for Tennessee football next year. Sticker shock. Dave, you're annoying. You're annoying. But I love that ODU quarterback. I'm telling you. Our last quarterback. Same league, Bri? Are they Sunbelters?
Yeah, ODU is in the same league with Appalachian State.
Let's freaking go, man. Let's go get us a Sun Belt. Let's go get us a Sun Belt Colton. Sun Belt Colty. I agree with Matt. I don't want the guy from Florida. But it would be funny to take Florida's rubbish. Now, I would tell you this. If the guy from Florida called Josh Heupel and said, I want to resurrect my career, and I'll take like $2 million to come do it, in other words, below market value, I would think about it, but I don't think I would do it because the guy, the biggest ability is availability, and the guy's available half the time. I mean, the guy's, no offense to him, but he just doesn't hold up. So I understand that Tennessee and a lot of programs around college football are very blown away by how expensive this quarterback market's gotten. And it's happened very quickly. If you remember, Nyko 99 1 year ago, Matt wanted how much money? Let's just turn the clock back. Does anybody remember? I think it was Nico 99. I think it was $2 million. Is that right? What his family wanted?
$4 million?
No.
A year or something like that?
No.
He wanted more than he was getting.
No. He wanted like $2 million last year because he was going to jump. If you remember, they made up something of Miami offering him 2.5 and Tennessee gave him like 1. I mean, it was no. Anyway, here's the point. Nico right now, if he would have come out last year in today's market, when I tell you that people are telling me this Sorsby guy is going to be paid north of $4 million, if that Sorsby guy is a $4 million quarterback, right? What was Nico 1 year ago, guys? Okay, somebody told me Nico was making, it was $3 million. for Miami. So let's say Nico, they made the lie up that he was going to make north of 3. That's what it was. Because he went to UCLA for like $1 million. It was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen, any of us have ever seen. Talk about a guy that needed an agent. A drink and a quick decision, as the She's Gone lyric goes. Matt, Nico right now, if he was gonna make 2.4 last year, right? What would Nico be worth in today's free agent market before people saw him at UCLA coming out of that playoff game last year?
I'd say it at minimum $3 million, probably maybe up to 3.5, because you could still sell the upside and potential and the fact that he was a first-year starter of a playoff team.
And this Sorsby guy, who's made how many playoff appearances at Cincinnati? None. How many times they gotten close? None. They're saying $4 to $5 million for him, just like that, overnight. The guy at
where did he come to Cincinnati from?
The guy at Arizona. You have Google.
He was originally at
Indiana. That's right.
The guy at Arizona State, everybody wants. You better dig deep. You better dig deep. Timothy McGee, Super Chat. Why can't Heupel develop the quarterbacks we have? The days of Manning, Clausen, and EA, where they all started as freshmen. What do you say to that, Matt? I don't think the plan was for any of those guys to start at freshmen. It's just the way it worked out. If you'll go back to it, Ainge's freshman year, Leak was the quarterback, but he couldn't play in preseason, and they jumped over him.
Jerry Colquitt got hurt. That's why Manning played his
got
freshman
hurt.
year.
Yeah, or if Jerry Colquitt didn't get hurt, Manning wouldn't have gotten on the field as a freshman. And back then, freshmen didn't play, and that was 30 years ago. And then the third one that you brought up was Clausen. Clausen played after Joey. You guys help me out here. Joey Matthews.
And AJ Suggs.
And AJ Suggs started that season. He was third.
Yeah.
So that was not.
Well, he might have started had he not gotten hurt in spring, because he was one of the first to be an early enrollee when it was like extremely rare.
Good catch. I don't remember.
Again,
that.
it's rare to do that, but McIntyre's been here a year. So I don't know. It'd be curious to know what the staff's kind of outlook on McIntyre is, if they view him as a guy that they could potentially put out there game one.
Jeremy Sanders says, you guys are proving my point even further. Don't pay high school kids because they're going to transfer anyway for more money when you don't play them. Matt said it earlier. Miami has decided, and there are some other programs out there, if you look at what they're doing with quarterbacks, that have decided, why bother? Oregon's another one. We're just going to go get the next guy available. And see, Oregon's so sneaky that you would have thought, oh, they've grown this guy. No, he was a 5-star kid that signed with UCLA. It wasn't that long ago when UCLA could play for a quarterback like him. Oregon scooped him up like immediately. And the kid from Oregon went to Cal this year, where a lot of people think, oh my gosh, how did Cal end up with a freshman quarterback? Well, no, he's a transfer who's probably going to transfer again. That guy's a great player. But Matt brings up a great point when it comes to, and I want to talk about this for our time together here today. Does Tennessee need to get a high-ticket quarterback, or could they get by with a Joey Aguilar, who's not a high-ticket guy? Joey Aguilar was a scrap heap guy. And I'm not dissing him, but he was a, yes or no, Matt, a scrap heap guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
I'm a little bit above that, but I mean, from when Tennessee got him, yeah, him and the Redsclaff guy from BYU, who ironically is in the playoffs with Tulane.
Another one, yeah.
I mean, he wasn't a high profile guy in the portal, no, but he was going to be a power 4 starter.
And here's the thing.
Which, again, you can find a guy that can be serviceable. I don't know if you can find if you find an average power 4 starter, which is kind of what maybe Aguilar could have been, and you put him in Heupel's offense, you can have really good results. So I do think you can find guys like that. I mean, Auburn had that. They brought Jackson Arnold in and had the other their backup. They brought in Ashton Daniels. I think had been a starter at Stanford. So you can bring in 2 portal guys. You can bring in a guy. I mean, Trinidad Chambliss was basically a throwaway. He was a scrap heap guy that Ole Miss got.
There you go.
And he wasn't supposed to start for them. I mean, he was going to be the backup to the.
Didn't he come from Butch's alma mater, Ferris State?
Yeah. Hey, Ferris State had a nice player. I saw. You're right. Here's the thing. That's where that kid came from, Ferris State. That's right. Here's the other thing, though, guys. I look at it. And I say, and it's kind of like Alan's saying over here, which is accurate. You give this Colton Joseph kid a chance. That's a guy, you're the highest level he's ever played at. It's like Bobby Wallace said us a couple weeks ago down there at Tennessee Tech. He said, I don't want guys that were in Division I football. I don't want a guy that looks on my weight room and goes, this thing sucks. I want a guy that was in a Division III weight room or an NIA weight room, and he looks at my stuff and goes, man, look at God, I'm so glad to be here. That Joseph guy, you bring a guy like that to a Tennessee's, I'm telling you that guy can play. But anyway, it's an interesting discussion to have. As long as you got quarterback free agency, you're almost tilting at windmills playing around with high school guys unless you got Peyton Manning on your campus. Now, that's just me. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looks the way 8 of the 12 teams that are in the thing. Or is it the case that this year you look at your football team and you say, you know what? That's not what we need this year. We need defensive players. Because Tim Banks was such a great, prolific recruiter during his time here that we literally have needs at every position on defense. Continue. We'll kick it around after this. Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contracting. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field, 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first night of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight. So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club team started at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we are the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our trials last night. Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care. I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
The season of giving reminds us of what truly matters, community and connection. Hi there, Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. As the year closes, I wanted to take a moment to sincerely thank you, my Basilio family clients. Thank you for trusting me with your most important decisions. Whether it was finding your first home or successfully closing a chapter, your trust means everything. I look forward to new and continued relationships through the new year, and feel free to reach out to me at 865-694-5904 or nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and of course, go Vols!
Basilio here with my buddy, Connexial Kristen.
Hey, Tony. Good to see ya. Knoxville builds fleet technology that helps transportation and logistics companies win big. Live GPS, easy ELD and compliance tools, AI dash cameras, and asset tracking, all backed by the .1 U.S. customer support team. Want a better playbook for your operations? Visit Connexial.com/Tony. That's KONEXIAL.com/Tony. Connexial, built for drivers, trusted by fleets, and proud Vol fans.
Sorry about that, y'all. I got sidetracked. I'm filling out a Christmas card from my brother Steve. We're sending him up a package. I've talked about him from time to time on here. He's my special needs brother. He called last night. It's pretty funny. He wanted to know where his cookies were. Or no. So we told him we were going to bake him cookies. And then he says to me, he says, how do he put it? A Tennessee Christmas from Tennessee. Because I guess that made it real for him that we were baking cookies for him. I sent him up a package yesterday, and I told him he had another one coming. But then he said, he asked yesterday if the cookies were in his package, and he asked Laura last night. We had him on speaker, And he was not accepting the fact that his Christmas cookies were not made. So she got like so shamed into it that immediately she got up and started making the guys Christmas cookies. Because at one point he says to me, 5 more shipping days till Christmas. I mean, my brother last night was not, and I mean not going for it. Let's go to the phones. So I got caught there filling out a card. But let's go back to our phones, and we get our next call in. Hello and welcome in. You're on our Tuesday edition. Sans John Adams, who will be here on Thursday. Hi, you're on the air.
How are my French compatriots doing today?
W. Lynn, welcome in, buddy.
Merry Christmas to your brother Steve from me, Tony.
Thank you, my friend.
I've got a basketball and a football comment to make.
Hit it.
I take umbrage to the News Sentinel today, and this is no offense to John Adams. Love John Adams. No offense to the Lady Vols. I love Lady Vols. Everybody knows that listens to this show. I pull for the Lady Vols. But the front page of the News Sentinel today, and I know I get a paper, and a lot of people don't, but the parents and grandparents of some of our future recruits might know this. We're playing the biggest December basketball game that I can remember in a long time. For seeding, for strength of non-conference schedule, whatever you want to call it. The front page of the News Sentinel has 50% of the page taken up by a Lady Vol article about people that improved over a baby bird clubbing of some team we could have beat by 100 points. The article on Brown being our starter, Dwayne Brown, and the Louisville game is only 15% of the front page.
Mike Wilson getting no respect. And Bruce Hornsby sung a song about that, or sang a song. It's called That's Just the Way It Is. And some things will never change, W. Lynn.
And the picture they have of Dwayne Brown in a game is a size slightly bigger than a postage stamp.
You know, I tried to explain this to Bino, who's hosted Lady Vol basketball overtime all these years, that there's just been a political tilt going on. But W. Lynn, you're right. You are speaking the truth, man. And I've spoken the truth down through the years. It doesn't have the same following. It's not the same sport. It doesn't draw the same crowds. It doesn't get the same kind of post-game appeal. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. But hey,
well, and another thing, though.
I'll say this for it, though. I'll say this for it. It does check a lot of boxes.
There's an article, though, also about the resignation of a Maryville high school coach.
Yes.
And who might replace him.
And I want to wish him well. Great man.
That
Derek
takes
Hunt's
up
a great
3
man.
times more space in the first 3 pages than an article about Tennessee basketball.
Oh!
And the picture they have of Brown, you could take the headshot on the front page of Josh Heupel and John Adams, and their headshots combined looks like a giant compared to his body in the picture.
Matt, what is your do you enjoy that about the News Sentinel down through the years? The shoving of that down my throat.
I don't see the physical copy of it unless I go to my parents' house. I read it on the online subscription, so I don't really see how the layout is.
W. Lynn, I can't tell you the last time. Let me think. The last time I held a newspaper in my hand. I'm trying to think of the last time I've held – because I love newspapers. You know, we were trying to explain to our kids the other day how on Black Friday, like 20 years ago, how thick that newspaper used to be.
Oh, yeah.
Is it still that thick, W. Lynn, or is it not like it used to be?
It's that thick on Sunday only, but the Sunday sports page is horrible now. It's not like it used to be either.
The Sunday sports page, I loved getting my newspapers, though. I loved the smell of the newspaper. I loved getting the ink on my hands. I love
I
the
write
newspaper.
all over them. I underline things.
Yep. I
But,
used to see. I used to see Mike Keith coming out in and out of Books a Million on Sunday, because we would go there and get like the New York Times and go to get like the this is before the internet. You would go and get the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
Right.
You would get those papers and read them if you were doing a talk show in the Southeast.
I used to get them anyhow. Like when we beat, Miami in the Sugar Bowl, I found a Miami paper somewhere.
There you go. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that.
But the final thing about basketball is there are plenty of students in the Knox metro area that can get in that stadium tonight. And we gotta rock the house tonight. And Brian Hartman will tell you we got to be the sixth man. This is a big, big game tonight.
Huge game. And this is a huge game. And, I pushed back on Nega Dave when he told me it was a huge game for seeding, but he was right. This is a critical basketball game for this team tonight. Critical basketball game.
And moving on to our needs in football, amen to the fact that we need defensive football players. All you have to do is look at 2024 when we had a guy named Nico at quarterback, and we went 10-2. We had a quarterback who looked more at the sideline than he did downfield during a play. We had a quarterback who clapped more than some of the people in the luxury wine and cheese section. And we still went 10-2, and we went to the playoffs because we had a great defense.
Matt, that is true, isn't it? That is the truth. That is the truth. I'm not so sure Oklahoma didn't do that this year. I'm not so sure that isn't the truth.
No, that's exactly what Oklahoma did this year.
Yeah,
so
why would you take your money
to make? But yeah, there's a baseline minimum that you have to be defensively to be, a playoff team out of the SEC, and we certainly weren't close to it this year. Now you've got to, no matter how good your offense is, you've got to be able to play a little bit of defense. You got to be like top 30, top 35. I mean, even like 2019 LSU was like top 30-ish.
And you got to hold people to field goals sometimes, and you can't give up touchdowns. And, we couldn't stop anybody this year that meant anything in a game that meant something. And, we got to get some defensive players. There's an article in here also, Tony, about 4 quarterbacks we're looking at. And it doesn't mention anybody from the mighty Monarchs of Old Dominion in this article.
The guy from the Monarchs, what Adam talks about there is the high ticket guys. I'm telling you, the guy from the Monarchs would be a guy worth looking into. Really, really clutch football player, good player, and would fit the offense.
We got a great guy now who was at Appalachian State.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know it. The Monarchs are 1A football.
Yes, they're in the Sun Belt. That's correct.
Yeah, they're in there like with Appalachian State. So, hey, if he's the best choice, I say go for it. But we have got to get defensive players somehow, some way.
Thank you, my brother. Good talking to you. I want some my number one priority, Matt, is 2 safeties. Because we need the regulator back there. What was it called, Brian? What's that position, that free safety? See if Brian pays attention. The adjuster, Brian. You better get the technology. You better get with the lingo here. He
it's
sets
hard.
The defense.
Going back to newspapers.
Yeah.
I'm so used to reading something on a screen that's lit up that I find reading newspapers sort of harder and more tiresome than it used to be. It's not as easy as it once was.
Colton Joseph of Old Dominion has 2. Am I selling for his comment, Matt? Yes or no? Colton Joseph of Old Dominion has 2 years of eligibility remaining, for those wondering. He recently entered the transfer portal And according to what I'm reading here, is not going to play. He's not playing in the, let's see here. Transfer portal. Okay, let's see here. Will not play in the upcoming bowl game. He said goodbye to their fan base. So that sucks. We don't get to see him tomorrow night, Bri. 2 backup quarterbacks tomorrow in the Cure Bowl. He had
crap on that.
20 starts, threw for 4,251 yards, 32 touchdowns. And then he ran for another 1,654 yards and 24 TDs on the ground. And he is in the portal. Question is, and nobody knows this, right? How expensive is a guy like that? Because there will be a point where a guy like that gets worth not playing with. That will come.